I know if you are anything like me, you enjoy curling up on the couch with a good story. In this educational novella, a first of many, I will be taking you on a journey. An educational field trip through the world of paranormal science and psychology in a way you probably never heard. I will be reading from my novella one chapter a week. If you would like a softcover copy of this novella to read along during story time, comment, how do I get a copy? Also, while I'm at it, hit that like or 5-star review as well as subscribing to this channel. Trust me, I got a lot to say on many subjects, and if you like this, you're going to like what comes after. Demonic. Ed and Lorraine Warren take on any evil. Chapter 1, Introduction to Demonic. This is a battle between good and evil, the late Ed Warren once said. But is that really all it is? If so, how did it all start? In everyday life, the way human beings treat each other, how can it be so hard to believe that humans do not need Lucifer to show evil? Isn't it plausible that good and evil, God and Lucifer, only interfere enough to show the faithful that they exist? How can we call an angel anything but an angel, even if that angel has fallen from grace? Why is it so impossible for the human race to believe that the truly evil, loathsome, twisted souls were simply released into the universe exactly as they are? Why is it so hard to believe that Hitler, Charles Manson, Jim Jones, and souls like those were evil the moment they were born and released into the collective multiverse? That Lucifer was not the first, nor was he the last soul to be changed and controlled by fear, jealousy, hate, and chemically caused mental illness. These truths are self-evident. The conscious mind can be, and usually is, poisoned not by an evil force, but by the mind they think with. Our head is not in our chest, our minds, our thoughts, our brains. Therein lies our true hearts and souls. Doing wrong doesn't come easy for the hearts born good. Those souls can be forgiven for wrongdoings, for they do not realize they were doing wrong, or they already feel guilty and know they need to be forgiven. The truly evil, evil that was just born that way, those souls are mistakes, and God refuses to allow them to be recycled. They cannot be forgiven because they know exactly what they do. True evil is not to be tolerated. All Bibles state this, all religions, period. I beg the whole of the human race, do not tolerate the grisly evil. They are what the Lord died to protect us from, not each other. He did not die to build religions. He did not die to show us who is right and wrong, but to prove love can save us from the evil in our minds. No matter what religion of the world you practice, he only wished you to follow in his footsteps and know his name, to love everyone and protect the meek. Children are to be sheltered and kept as innocent as possible from the evils of the human species. Women are to be revered and held close to the hearts of men, and those who cannot protect themselves are to be held under the wings of law and order. He died that so we can forgive all things and trust the I am that he will not let the bad outnumber the pure. To show us love is the only defense we will ever need. He will raise his sword, the angel Michael will also raise his, and the Titans will rise again in our defense, the way they have before, if we only will follow in his footsteps. Always be kind. Never confuse sinners and outsiders for the true snakes. The real snakes are harder to see, and know what they do will lead to their demise, and for good reason. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is self-evident. This is a law of the multiverse and of nature. And by that, I mean it's always been and always will be. The force of evil thoughts and minds, the opposite of light, a collective primordial thing that has been here since the first consciousness came into existence. It is what is left when nothing is. The nothing, the it that spreads like a plague, has been hell-bent on destroying light since time itself began, one good soul at a time. In the end, can the world really continue to be blind to the evil that can be created within itself, inside of all the I Am's creations? People in charge, elites through history, who not only hide and still hide their evil black sheep relatives, but facilitate and feed their atrocities. Ask yourself, why is no one talking about Epstein and Maxwell for years, since Epstein's first child trafficking charge in 2008? Who paid for the children sold and tormented by those awful, disgusting people? Why did all of our elites quietly push anything else, even the dumbest things, in news and media but this? Ask yourself why, even now, when the courts have been forced to release 100 names from Epstein's Black Book, why did Congress mix clients' names with victims? Why are some clients still named John and Jane Doe? Human trafficking defended with, it's better to have money and be physically mistreated than it is to be poor. Human beings have been allowed for trade since the beginning of civilization. Those with power and money can pay for their cannibalistic, masochistic, or murderous habits, as well as bribe, blackmail, and threaten to hide their actions from the majority. Pizzagate is not a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy. Human sacrifice for bloodlust in elite circles has been happening and most likely never died out since ancient Egypt. Hidden by those with money by discrediting and calling crazy whoever calls them out on their actions, as well as murdering every witness who could prove the actions of this giant group of world elites. These are the snakes, and the snakes have us distracted. Aliens, immigration, world wars. Distracted, but not any longer. The world is waking up and demanding answers. Anything with free will has the potential to become evil without any outside influence whatsoever. Maybe the soul can be tainted and twisted simply from the feelings that come from the thought process itself of being a conscious being. We can do bad all on our own. For reasons of familiarity, I stay with terms from modern times. I say the I am, the Holy Spirit, but I am speaking of the universe. From the universe was born planets and space. From space came gods and titans, and from gods and titans, plenty of begots, came Elohim. El. Elohim controlled the Titans and other gods and placed himself as king and led mankind to evolution through the Hebrew Torah, the Muslim Quran, and later Buddha would speak the truth of peace across the seas. I am a firm believer that Jesus is the Big Bang, the first consciousness, the I am. I also believe all spiritual as well as paranormal things can be explained perfectly and thoroughly through scientific study into the history of our planet. Laws of nature are laws of the multiverse. Therefore, all life in existence, even the paranormal and the gods themselves, can be explained by logic and testing. Throughout history, our God has wanted us to do one thing and one thing only: treat others as we wish to be treated. All religions give the same basic rules. No matter how the names of our God changed, no matter how the rules are laid at our feet, we only have three bad habits that sour our race: hate, greed, and fear. This causes all sin. And throughout known history, all conscious things, even our gods before one God above all who rules with an iron grip, can fall prey. All things conscious have the possibility of falling prey to the it. No matter how cliche and simple the explanation sounds, there are laws built into the fabric of the universe. All things known and not known are a part of the natural order. Life is not black and white, dark and light, but it is all scales of lights and colors in between. Two quotes from Nikola Tesla actually suit the world perfectly, and it's past the tales of time. Deficient observation is merely a form of ignorance and responsible for the many morbid notions running rampant. And if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.